this week's episode, how I managed to defeat an alarm with a screwdriver. Before we get into the episode, please give me a cheeky little follow on Instagram, Miss Brightside25, and I'd love for you to give me a follow on TikTok and Facebook too, and I am Miss Brightside25 on them all. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the podcast. I've decided I'm going to do a rebrand. I'm going to be called from this day forward. From this day forward, I will now be called Miss Brightside. So the podcast is just going to be called Miss Brightside to allow me to have a little bit of flexibility, because I will always try and see the positives in the little things, and I think we all should. But life isn't constantly positive. So I'm doing a rebrand, and it's always going to have that sprinkle of positivity. But sometimes we need to come and rant, we need to come and rave, and we just need to be able to move through those life conversations together, I think. So what have I been up to this week? This week I have managed to defeat the carbon monoxide alarm. If you've seen my social media, don't forget to follow me on Miss Brightside25. I like to post a story as regularly as I possibly can on just any little things I'm doing. At the moment, I usually am moaning little walk. You would have may or may not seen on there that my carbon monoxide alarm has been beeping. Just erratically, like beep, beep. It's been testing my patience. Now, nobody panic. It's only there because I've got a wood burner and I haven't been using the wood burner, so there's no risk of me dying of carbon monoxide poisoning. But I've been just putting up with it because it's not too loud, so I can sleep with it, but I haven't been able to come in the living room. But yesterday, I defeated it. I got the step ladder out. However, I did try to use a chair first. Don't do that, health and safety. I managed to get on there, managed to get a screwdriver in. My brother has shown me before, it's like a little clip. I couldn't get the clip, but I managed to twist the alarm to basically stop the beeping. So that's what I've successfully achieved on my own this week. Even though I've got plenty of people in my family who can carry ladders, I was independent and did it myself eventually. And also I've realised this week I'm a very erratic dishwasher stacker. How do you stack the dishwasher? And you may think to myself, oh my God, Lisa, this is boring conversation. But I'm telling you out there, this was a great debate. I am a random stacker. I will fit as much physically possible and just ram it in the dishwasher and hope for the best, close the door. Whereas Ryan will stack the dishwasher like it's a military operation. Everything's got the lines, and I'm like, oh, I haven't got time for that when I'm cooking. I just want to throw the thing in. I like to have the dishwasher open, cook, and as I finish with something, plonk it in the dishwasher. So I'd love to know what type of dishwasher stacker you are. I do make myself laugh, but these are the things that go through my mind throughout the day. I've started from all in the notes on my phone so I can come here and talk to you about it. Wales's weather this week, or I would rather say the whole of the UK. I don't know what's going on. I had to have a pep talk with Mother Nature this week. I didn't put this order in for this weather. I don't know what the heck's going on, but this was not on my to-do list. I didn't want to be freezing cold with the heating on in May. It's May! I feel loads of adults say that as well. It's May and it's May. It's freezing. I've got my coat on this walk and it's May. Bumped into a couple of people this morning on my walk. This lovely lady who looked absolutely fabulous, and I had to let her know. She had this like blue cord, like very beautiful look, red lipstick on. She had hair all done. So I gave her a compliment. She said, oh, you made my day. She looked fantastic. And then I bumped into another lady who was walking a dog, and all she complimented was, oh, the sweater, oh, throw my head in. It's a topic of a British conversation, if you didn't know. So the weather profoundly affects us as humans with our psychology and physiology. It can affect hormone production, energy levels and mood. And oh my gosh, I have felt that this week. I've been on an up and down little roller coaster, along with health eating, as we already know I'm doing, and trying to be like super healthy and walking and all that. As much as the endorphins got out when I'm exercising, it's really hard work, the weather. I like a little bit of sunshine. I was thinking, how does that all affect us as adults? And how does that affect you? So like if it's affecting your energy levels and or during your hormone production. It's like you hear a lot in the winter, don't you, about the sad lamps and how much of a difference that can make to people. So I think I might try one out this winter because I really struggle mentally with the dark nights. I've stopped, I'm a girl who's always slept with blackout blinds. So ever since my baby, in my mother and father's house, I don't know if I mentioned this before, the original blind they bought me when I was a couple of weeks old is still there. She's talking 37 years. That blind's been up in my mother and father's house. And it is the best blackout blind ever. It doesn't have any light in. I got modern ones in my bedroom, but they don't cut the mustard. However, I have not been closing them. I've just been pulling the curtains, trying to wake up naturally with the daylight. And I've been waking up at 6 o'clock. Don't get me wrong, this morning I didn't go back to bed because it is Saturday. Basically, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, I'm an excellent sleeper. I even managed to fall asleep in a Vegas pool party where it was full on. Having a lovely time. I was knackered. I'd been up for 24 hours. I need a little nana nap. I'll tell you that story again. But my point is how much that can affect our mood and how we are feeling. So it made me think, while I've been out on my daily walks, how we don't always see things, in my opinion, the right way. So I haven't got loads of children around me in my life, but when I'm walking in the park or see my friends' children's or, the girls in work talk about their kids or anything like that, you see the joy that the littlest things bring them. I always remember my nephew in the garden in my mum and dad's house when he was little and he had a white pair of socks on. And I had 3 pet ducks at the time. Don't know if I've mentioned my ducks before, but they've all sadly passed away now. But I had 3 pet ducks, big, massive, muddy puddles basically in the grass. And he had his white socks on and he just went straight in there and he was jumping up and down. And none of us gave him a row. He was loving life. He was like, "Auntie, look at me, I'm jumping in the muddy puddle." And I was like, "Be careful, you're splashing, Bumpy." I think back now and I think to myself, that's how we should all be living our lives. I think we're all too a bit scared. When did you last jump in a muddy puddle? I'm not saying you have to jump in with your socks on or your new best trainers, but even if it's pouring down with rain, I've become oh, I got splashed then and oh, I'm cold, and I think I'm too focusing on the negatives. The rain never hurt anybody. So that feeling of rain in your skin, it's not going to hurt you. That feeling of the wind sometimes, it actually blows away the cobwebs of your soul. So instead of fighting against all the seasons we're currently getting, I'm trying to embrace it. So I want us all, if you can, or if you want to, that is, to look at the world a little bit more like a child. Because I seen a little girl again in the park this morning with her parents as I was walking round. And she had the best sunflower leggings on I've ever seen. Her mum also had matching sunflower leggings. As we know, I love a sunflower. I just smiled at her and walked past. But she was so engrossed in the dew that was on the grass. She was like, "Mammy, the grass has got," what did she say? Something about the grass anyway. And the wonder in her eyes and the joy that brought her. And I think sometimes we just take life a little bit too serious. So when did you last switch off and see the magic of the world through a child's eye? When did you last play a game of cards or have a game of rounders? I always remember being on the caravan and I was a young kid and everyone had a game of rounders, and that sticks with me to this day because the adults got involved and I haven't laughed that much in a really long time. And I think sometimes we forget to just let our hair down and have a bit of fun. So find a muddy puddle this week. I'm not saying necessarily that. What I'd like you to do is just embrace some of the things. Instead of getting angry about it, I find sometimes I get really angry about oh, I just cleaned that, now it's raining, or I've come out now and I am going to coat and I'm cold. And realistically, it's not hurting me. Instead of focusing on that, I want to try and see the positives, even in the little things. Easier said than done, I know. Some days it's just not that easy. I get it. But hopefully the weather will get better. And also, I always remember my dad, we were having a barbecue in the house and it poured down rain. And there's nothing more British than my memory of my dad with a sports golf umbrella over the barbecue cooking. Because you know what? You got to make the best of the situation you've got. We still had the barbecue, but we ate it inside. So find yourself a muddy puddle this week and jump in it. And the positives, even if something like the weather is getting you down. And if you can't, that's absolutely fine. What I will say to you is, brighter days are coming. You will find the magic, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing week. Thank you so much for listening to me. You don't understand how much it means to me, you guys listening. But more importantly, give us a little cheeky follow on Instagram if I haven't already done it. Miss Brightside25. And remember, see the positives even in the little things. And have an absolutely amazing week.